Here we are in Blue Springs, Missouri. It's June 30th, 1989. We're about to visit the home of John Hackley, member of the American Custom Gunmakers Guild, machinist and specialist in color case hardening, recreating colors used in receivers of revolvers, rifles, shotguns, double guns, used in days gone by. We will be going inside this cavernous shop here in a few moments to see what secrets we can discover from spending a few hours with John. As in so many cases, the actual materials used, the actual equipment for secret processes is quite simple. There's nothing secret, of course. It's only in what a man has learned of the technique of certain processes. Over here we have some cans of wood charcoal, which has been specially ground and prepared for use in preparing the pack for the color case hardening procedure. These are pack boxes, steel tubes to be sealed at each end, packed with the charcoal mixture and the object to be case hardened, and from thence it goes into a furnace, and we'll have the details on that as we go.
Just to pack this Parker in, and it is manufactured locally in South Missouri. It's primarily used for aquarium work, and they're using it now to leach gold out in the west, out of some of these gold mine trailings. This charcoal has been heated in these cans for 2 to 3 hours at 275 degrees to dry it out. It is very hygroscopic and tends to draw moisture.
Okay, I'm getting ready to pack.
Getting ready to put charcoal into the canister. And you need charcoal in the bottom to a depth of about 1 inch. And these, I'll sneeze, I know I am. These parts have been washed and cleaned, and there's no residue left on them, to try to get all of the grease and oil off that you possibly can. You just simply pack
Okay, you put some amount of charcoal in the bottom.
Put some charcoal in the bottom, and then you add charcoal, or I add charcoal slowly to this to see where everything's set.
Is it necessary to tamp it or shake it to get everything to settle in
When it's
consistently?
done, I take a hammer and tap it around.
Now you've placed the large receiver frame in first, and you're adding small parts around it.
Okay, why don't you... These small parts have to be packed around the action, and it's so hard to get them in this little pot. like you need them without taking a pair of needle nose.
So they will stand up in the charcoal mixture as though they were standing up in sand.
Right. I want them to be vertical in this pack. It doesn't matter as much where they're at in this pack as it does they be vertical in it.
Okay, ready to go?
Yeah. I don't really like the way it's going in there. Yeah, it'd be alright if I put it the right direction.
And into the pot, most of the items are pretty well covered with charcoal. And you'll completely fill the rest of the pot up to the brim.
I've got one more piece to put in it. Have to be careful that the parts do not touch each other. Right, we literally are settling the charcoal.
Watch the level of it drop. Refill a little bit.
Get it just as full as you can get it. Now this is plain clay.
Now, the lid is not screwed in place. It's
just set on top. And a clay seal pushed down around it. This gets rather messy. I understand some people are using a furnace cement to seal these, which would work. And probably better than what this is. This is the way I started out. I finally figured out how to make it work.
furnace you're going to be using. Okay, here's the pot all sealed and ready to go. Closed up, temperature set. What's the approximate time needed to get up to operating temperature?
It takes 35 minutes from now to reach operating temperature, and then 2 hours at temperature before we quench.
Okay, what is the temperature you're...
About 1400.
Okay.
And when it reaches temperature, I want to show a photograph of the inside of this, and then about an hour later I want to show another photograph of it, because there is enough change to be noticeable in it at that time.
Okay, so at this point we sit back and wait.
Yep, it's a waiting time now.
Now this is charcoal you've been storing here to...
What I did was cooked it off, because it's not pure enough as it comes from the supplier. and it's also of too big a granulation. By turning on this final coffee very definite. They need to be done out locally.
Here's a few pieces of the coarse stuff that you're grinding up now. Kind of pea gravel size. Compare that now with the size of the granules after it's been ground. Quite a bit different. Kind of a dusty mess.
See the black underneath of it?
Whew. It's just the dust from the grinding. So you're sifting to get all sizes larger than the screen mesh.
Right. This is how charcoal is graded, is by granulation. Up to almost 1300 degrees.
You can see the red glow around the top of the door. Another 100 degrees to go.
Another 100 degrees to go.
Okay. A little about what you're doing there now, John.
Well, I'm simply wire wheeling it to give it a uniform surface, to get it ready to clean and case harden.
This is not your average shop wire wheel you're using.
No, it's 3,500.
3,500 wire, 3,500 diameter wires.
Right. And it will not hurt engraving. If you hog it on gold, it will hurt gold, but I don't try and hog anything into it. I just try to give it a frosted gray finish, which is uniform.
Now you're lubricating that before contact with the wheel.
Right. I have automatic transmission fluid, which is a real lightweight oil and rather temperature resistant. And you never get it hot anyway, but it's just a lubricant. And it will leave it with a clean surface. When it's done, now this had colors on it before I started, on this back part, and it wipes the colors off, but it also gives it a smooth gray finish before you case harden it.
Find that gives you better results when it is slightly brushed texture than if it were just hand polished.
Right. Well, by using this wire wheel, you eliminate your start-stop marks or your scratches from polishing.
Right.
And no matter how fine I polish, I still find start and stop marks in it. And
so it's really just a texture blending wheel.
Right.
Cleaning, blending,
Right.
texturing very finely. And it's the same kind of wheel that would be used for carding rust blue.
right, that's what they're really for.
Right, so we're seeing a similar texture there.
Right.
You find that pieces which are actually polished with a rouge polishing wheel, what happens when that kind of polish is used for preparing color casing?
It closes the pores on the metal. and actually closes the pores on them. And I find that when you have something like that, that it does not take colors good. I've done 2 or 3 pieces that were real highly polished that customers would send in. They did not come out to my satisfaction. I think that probably a 400 grit polish and then wire wheeling them to blend the polish marks is all that's needed, although I sometimes on a few guns I've gone to 600 grit on. Okay.
So we show temperature on the oven.
It's a little bit above 1400. Just pull the door out.
Ooh, boy, that's hot. Right, and the door's heavy too.
You can see the flame coming out of the top of that container around that clay seal.
That's right.
Those are the gases that are burning off from the charcoal, and it'll knock a hole through that clay and burn through there. I've never seen one that has been sealed completely to where it couldn't do anything. It might be like a hand grenade if it was.
Right, there should be some way for expanding air in the container to escape.
Right. Shooting that mess.
Just peeking around here. Okay, working on the next batch. We're degreasing a Turner double rifle receiver. That's just 409 home house, around the house cleanser.
Something to get the grease off of it.
Good grease cut. So now we're getting down to business here. Compressed air bubbling in the quench water. There's
not very much air pressure.
very low air pressure. Okay, notice the hot grabbers here.
Are you about to where you're ready?
We are ready. is out. Pot number 2 is in the fire. That part's in the quench tank. Oxygenated during the quench. Take out the tank liner, wire screen mesh. See what we got.
Shoot right down in it.
Yuck! Looks like a mess, but I see some pretty colors. Yes, indeed. Some things have happened.
There's a hammered Marty Rubino 76 Winchester.
There she is. Colors.
Kenny, why don't you take that back in just a second? I am. All right.
Colors.
Well, I don't wear that sweatshirt for nothing.
Real charcoal pack color case colors. That's what it's all about. Let's look at some results of John's efforts here. It's a nice little 1906 Winchester with a color cased frame. Nice colors, nice contrast. Very natural. Here's a marlin. Several little marlins, in fact. All charcoal method. Case colors.
You have it again, Dad? Could I get a new gun?